and welcome to another Author Reads with your host, me, D.M. Wright. I support Red Nose Day, and if you wish to as well, the link is in the description. You can find all of my works at D.M.W productionsoz.com. Today we're going to be going through one of my future works. It is completed in its first draft, but so you get to see part of it. You can find it, the details, the synopsis on the first one. So the Warlocks of Lobethal is a new series that I have been writing. As you can see, there's also a second one. So this first one is called Class Clown, and it is about a boy who basically gets turned into a clown because of his behaviors. So without further ado, we're going to be jumping straight into chapter 6 and then part 4. Upon arriving home, I bolted through the front door and stumbled to my parents' bedroom, tripping over my flapping shoes with every step. "Honey, we're home," Mum called out, and Dad popped his head out from the kitchen. "I thought Benny was walking home," he said, and brought his whole body out to meet the visitor. "You're not Benny." Mum introduced the young man entering the house behind her. "This is Benny's boyfriend, Tyler." "Friend," Tyler corrected. "I'm Reese, Benny's dad." Dad lay a tea towel he carried upon his shoulder and offered his hand to shake. "Good to meet you, Tyler." Tyler corrected. Dad peered out the front door before it closed. "No Benny?" "Our room," said Mum. Dad winced. "No Jimmy?" "I'm sure he'll be here," she replied, and waved Tyler to the dinner table. Come, make yourself at home." Dad guided Tyler to a seat. "Dinner will be ready soon, mate." "Are we waiting for Grandpa?" I asked, entering the room. Dad halted, crossed his arms, then tapped his nose. "Puberty isn't what it used to be. There's something different about you, my boy." "Somebody," Mum grunted, "gave permission for Benny to be the Year 7 victim." "Did they?" asked Dad. "Who did?" "You." "Me? When?" "Mrs. Livingston called." Dad's eyes lit up and he snapped his fingers. "Clown school! She's sending you to clown school!" Mum rolled her eyes. I frowned. Dad flinched. Literally. He approached to inspect my bright red nose. He examined me from head to toe. "Are those my shoes?" "Bigger feet," Mum explained. I glared. "You turned me into a clown." "Sorry, Sporto," Dad winced. "My bad." "Hey, Mrs. K!" Jimmy barged through the front door without key or invitation and tore through the house in a tornado of greetings. "Hey, Mr. K, what's for dinner? Smells great. I wish Dad could cook. Did you make pavlova for dessert? Can you teach me one day? Hey, Grandpa K." "That's Grandpa J to you cockalorum," Grandpa grunted at the head of the dining room table. "Grandpa K isn't my father," Dad explained. "Pull up a chair, Jimmy. We're about to serve." "Thanks, Mr. K," said Jimmy. "Benny boy, where are you sitting?" I moved round to Tyler's side of the table. Edging too close to my visitor, my shorts began to bulge, so I dropped one seat short and hid my waist beneath the table. "You're going there?" Wingman Jimmy came round and pulled out the chair between Tyler and I, then waved him closer to me. "Shove down, mate. I'm going to sit next to my old pal Grandpa J." "Okay," Tyler agreed and slid closer to me. I blushed as red as my nose and shuffled further beneath the table. "So it's your turn to face the music, eh?" said Grandpa. "I remember when it was your father's turn." "Mr. K," Jimmy called to the kitchen. "You didn't tell us you were a victim." Dad came out to lay food upon the table. "And I didn't intend to. Thanks, pups." He retreated to collect more, and Grandpa leaned upon the table to speak quietly. "I was his Year 7 English teacher. Little brat learned his lesson." Dad reappeared. "Don't." "Not at the dinner table." Grandpa grumbled before pointing at me. "What did you do?" "Nothing," I replied. "Nothing?" Grandpa snorted. "Nothing? Nobody does nothing to be our victim." I opened my mouth to fire back, but Mum cut in to douse the flames. Don't respond, Benny. Mum looked to Tyler to apologise for his behaviour. Don't mind my father, she said. He's just bored and doesn't have Mum or his nurses to pester here. Don't you bring, Grandpa pointed at her, but she growled and he immediately stopped. Father, no more or you go home. Mum's gnashing teeth were quickly replaced by a beaming smile. So, Tyler, what do you do with yourself? I mean, apart from school? Footy, he replied. About it. I drooled. I like footy. What about you, Jimmy? Mum diverted. What did you do at school today? We actually had fun turning Benny Boy's nose red, said Jimmy. You can make him change? Asked Dad. Every time he tells a joke, said Tyler. Or does a magic trick, Jimmy added. I twitched. Or anything entertaining, really. Dad tissed understanding. So every time Benny interrupts his class? Grandpa rolled his eyes. And he thinks he has no lesson to learn. I stood. I don't! You do, everybody chimed. They're the rules, said Jimmy. I snapped. The worst thing I've ever done was scream in pain for a hospital. When Miss Scott stopped the class, I showed my textbook and said, I need surgery. Someone's ripped out my appendix. The room fell silent. Everyone stared with mouths wide open. I felt the end of my nose twitch. I've peered down in time to see it inflate into a small bulb. Silence. Maybe you should stop talking, dear, said Mum. I barely slept that night. The crazy dreams kept waking me. I was in class telling jokes as usual when Mr. Emery pulled up a chair in front of me and held out both his hands, offering a coloured pill in each. This is your last chance, he said behind dark sunglasses. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You've learnt your lesson. You turn up to school every day. You don't interrupt. Everybody wins. You take the red pill. You stay entertaining everyone in Neverland, not maturing, pretending everything is all good. I reached out to choose. Remember, he said, all I'm offering is an education, nothing more. I chose the red pill and swallowed. You have chosen, Mr. Emery paused. Poorly. My nose turned bright red. My mouth began to pull shut. My lips melted together. I could only breathe in through my nose, but breathing out was like a one-way valve. The expelling air inflated my nose like a balloon. Panicking, I breathed in faster, but the more I breathed out, the bigger my nose grew. Soon it was beach ball sized, then body sized, then room size. The roof burst open. I rose into the air like an ever-expanding hot air balloon. Bigger, wider, higher. I floated above the clouds, past aircraft and to the edge of space. There my nose had grown so large it exploded and sent me crashing down to the earth. I screamed and braced for impact. I jolted awake in the middle of class. I felt beneath the table a throbbing erection. My hand touched slime. A wet dream stain dampened my shorts. Subtly, I rubbed the stain dry. Jimmy's face drew close to the red ball at the end of my nose. What's it like? I shrugged. Like any other nose, I guess. Jimmy gently prodded the tip and felt it squish. Ooh, spongy. He released. My nose sprung back into its rounded shape. Tell another joke. I grabbed my gear and we left for the next class. No, I'm done. I don't want anything more to change. This is already stupid. Oh, come on, Jimmy pleaded. One more joke. Or show me a trick. I tried walking away. No, mate, no more. You can't hold out on me, Benny boy. Jimmy followed behind like a dog on a leash. Sooner or later, you've got to entertain. It's in your blood. I want to clown around, I yelled back. I don't want to be a clown. I want an actual red nose and floppy feet like a hole in the head. Well, that's BS, and you know it, Benny boy. Jimmy caught up and walked backwards, keeping pace. You've always wanted to be a clown, and now you get to. And you get to be the victim, and you want to chuck it away. I looked him nervously in the eye. My hand shook. I stuttered. I don't want to be a clown because I'm not good enough at it yet. I have big shoes to fill. My nose twitched, and we watched the bulb inflate a little more. Jimmy stared closer. Cool. Benny boy, you're lying to yourself. You're a clown at heart, and you're a clown now. But what I want to know is, how big is it gonna get?